What it do? Bedtime crew. Hey man, listen, I'm back and I'm here to talk about UFC 312. Obviously, we had the masterpiece of UFC 311. At least it was a masterpiece on paper. This one is looking like a fucking disaster class on paper. One of the worst pay-per-view cards we've seen in recent memory. I dropped a whole video ranting about it. Today, I'm going to talk about one of the two fights I actually kept. Well, I am also excited for the Anshul Jubilee fight, but the main fight I'm excited about is this main event. Now, obviously, I wanted Du Plessis versus Chimaev. You wanted that, unless you're just trying to be different. But we're getting the rematch between Dricus Du Plessis and Sean Strickland. And when I look at this fight, and when I'm thinking about this more than just, oh God, we're going to have to sit through this again. Dricus Du Plessis, I wish he was fighting Chimaev. I'm realizing that the entire fan base pretty much is like, man, fuck Sean Strickland. He's boring as fuck. Sat out, waited for a title shot. Easy win for Dricus. Listen. Hold on. Sean Strickland has been annoying as fuck. I get it, bro. His Twitter is so cringy to read. His stick got really fucking old, in my opinion. He changed up a lot after he won the belt. But the first fight was so fucking close, and I'm feeling like just a bad feeling that people are all just overlooking Sean Strickland and being like, oh yeah, Dricus by sub, dude. Dricus finishes him this time. When there's no evidence to prove that, the first fight was extremely close. Sean Strickland just shut down Paulo Costa and has been preparing for Dricus Du Plessis ever since. Dricus has had one fight since then. I don't know, dude. I'm feeling like Sean Strickland's going to win this fight. I'm actually thinking about this more and more. I'm seeing an upset happening because this is one of those fights where we're all just like, oh, fuck, can we just get over with this? Right? And then boom, there we go. Right? It kind of reminds me of how people are talking about Strickland going into fighting Adesanya, bro. When you actually look at these matchup, when you look at this matchup, these two are no doubt goofy fucking goobers, dude. Strickland's on fucking IG. Here's the fucking thing, Dutch man. I need you to fucking stand and teep with me for fucking 5 rounds, dude. Otherwise, you're a fucking pussy, dude. Listen, man. I don't actually think Dricus can ragdoll Strickland the way people are talking about it. I'm seeing comments on that full violence video being like, dude, this just means he's scared to grapple with Dricus. Dricus is gonna sub him. The first fight, these two goofy goobers went out there, underrated game planners, underrated strategists, especially like Dricus Du Plessis is a goofball, but he's like a genius offensive strategist. He picks the right weapons to spam at you with his eyes closed, and they fucking work, dude. He goes like, I don't know what you guys talk about. I just closed my eyes and swung. But he actually has good ideas when it comes to game planning for his opponents. You look at how he fought Whitaker, how he fought Strickland, how he fought Izzy. He's a pretty smart offensive fighter. Defensively, Sean Strickland is the same. He's goofy as fuck, but he's really hard to hit. And rewatching that first fight, again, I thought Strickland won that fight. I feel like most people agreed with that. But then as time goes on, they're like, oh, well, that's the result. We just got to stick with it. I thought Sean won 1, 2, and 5. Outstruck Dricus Du Plessis heavily on the numbers and visibly in round 1, 2, and 5. Damaged his eye in round 1 and 2. Made him miss a lot of his shots. And the takedowns. People are like, oh, Dricus is going to sub Strickland this time. Rewatch that fucking fight, bro. He literally gets up so easily from every takedown. Dricus does absolutely nothing with the takedowns. He holds on to fucking Strickland's hips. Strickland just gets back up, breaks the grips, goes back to fucking jabbing and teeping at range. Don't know why in other fights people are like, dude, control time doesn't matter, man. But then Dricus just, actually, he got 6 takedowns. Like, I don't know, bro. I feel like a lot of the reasoning people are having for Dricus by whatever he wants against Strickland is not technical. Is not actually what's gonna happen. It's just based on we don't like Sean Strickland. And again, I fucking get it. I've even been gaslit by Dricus into liking him, bro. I remember when he first showed up, I was like, bro, this guy's pissing me off. Because he'd show up and be like, I'm coming with everything I have to finish Robert Whitaker, bro. And he'd talk like crazy. I'd be like, damn, this guy's badass. And then he'd get in there and just fluke a KO over Whitaker. You know what I mean? Like, this guy used to piss me off. But now I actually like Dricus. And I think that's another reason, based on the vibes, why I'm feeling like this could be an upset. But I'm not going to talk about it just, I don't know, man. I got a feeling, bro. I think Dricus figuring out Sean Strickland in round 3 and 4 in their fight is actually going to be a bad thing for him. And I also think that him subbing Israel Adesanya and getting a lot of glaze online for his grappling and really thinking about Hamza Chimaev as well, I think these are actually going to go against Dricus du Plessis, because in the first fight, he said that he kind of gave away round 1 and 2 to kind of figure out Sean Strickland, get a read on him, because he's very awkward. And then in 3 and 4, you see Sean Strickland kind of slow down for a little bit before he gets a second win. And Dricus is blitzing him. He's landing good shots. He's figured out how to strike with him, right? I think going into the rematch, basically 1 year later, like almost to the day, not that much time in between, these guys are still pretty similar. And I think Dricus is going to come in with the idea that he's figured out Sean Strickland and be more aggressive early on, blitzing, using his explosive movements early on, chasing more wrestling. And I think this is going to play out like how I predicted the first time, which again, everyone was like Dricus by KO in round 1, went to a close, razor-thin decision. I think that this time, considering Dricus kind of, figured out Sean Strickland's striking, I guess, if that's what you want to say, even though you still, like I said, I thought Strickland won the fight, right? But still, I think we're going to see Dricus blitzing more aggressively early on, chasing more takedowns, right? And I don't think that takedowns are going to work super well against Sean Strickland. I think Sean Strickland is not Israel Adesanya or Robert Whittaker. He's actually really fucking hard to take down. You look at the fucking numbers on this kid. Listen, let me tell you about Sean Strickland, bro. Hard to hit, hard to take down, hard to control. Very, very similar, like, significant strikes absorbed as well. Fuck's sake, I'm getting CTE, bro. Like, dude, when I think about this fight, I'm thinking Sean Strickland in round 1 and 2 is going to just stand around teeping at range, kind of flicking out the jab, kind of doing the opposite of what happened last time. The first fight, he was super aggressive in round 1 and 2. He established a lot of good, like, significant strike numbers early on. He won round 1 and 2, in my opinion. And then round 3 and 4, Dricus comes on strong. I think it's going to be the opposite in this fight. I think Dricus du Plessis, the way that he's built, the way that he fights, if he's aggressive early on because he's figured out Sean Strickland and he's chasing takedowns, and Strickland's just getting back up and getting away from them, I think Dricus du Plessis is going to slow down in this fight. The way that this guy fights, you can't do it for 5 rounds consistently. You can do it for like 3, right? We saw him kind of slow down a little bit against Israel Adesanya. He was still able to get the takedown and get the submission. I don't think that option is there against Sean Strickland to bum rush a submission. I could be totally wrong. This could be a fight where Strickland's like doing good on the feet, and then Dricus, okay, I'm going to fucking spinning a head kick him, bro. You know what I mean? You never know with Dricus, bro. But I think when I look at this fight, I'm going to say Dricus du Plessis is going to win round 1 and 2. He's going to be blitzing. He's going to be using lead side head kicks. He's going to chase takedowns. Take down Strickland up against the fence, control him. Strickland gets back up, breaks the grips, goes back to work with the teeps, attacking the body, which worked really well for like Israel Adesanya. He was doing that quite well. I think that even Darren Till was doing that pretty good. I think that Strickland's jab is still extremely fucking like power. Like that jab is fucking money, bro. There's no other way to say it. If I was coaching Sean Strickland, I'd say, bro, that jab is money. Keep using it, right? And I think that more aggression from Dricus du Plessis early on, more confidence that he can get to Sean Strickland early on is going to make him slow down in 3, 4, and 5, where Sean Strickland is going to be more comfortable because he's able to grapple with Dricus du Plessis. Because he has a pretty good chin, he fights like he has Robert Whittaker. I don't know why Strickland fights like he has the chin of Robert Whittaker. Like he's literally going out there like he can't take one punch, but he actually does have a pretty decent chin. And I also like the fact that he's been training specifics. You know, he's taught to go out there, train fucking specifics, bro. I saw his coach, Eric Nixick, saying that Sean Strickland lost the fight because he didn't do enough. He fought not to lose, and they're training specifics. They're drilling with this guy. They've got this guy doing more than just sparring blobs in fucking Las Vegas. So it might be wraps for the middleweight division now that Sean Strickland's actually training specifics, you know? That's what it is, you know? I think motivation-wise, too, Strickland has a lot of pent-up motivation to win this fight. And like I said as well, he fought Paulo Costa back in June. Everyone kind of overlooks that performance because it was so fucking boring, but it was 50-45. Like, he completely shut down Paulo Costa. Robert Whittaker gets more credit for beating Paulo Costa, doing the fucking Irish jig against Paulo Costa, bro. Whereas Sean Strickland went out there, completely shut down Costa, who is like a pseudo Dricus du Plessis preparation. Like, he's not as good as Dricus, but he's a big, explosive guy that can wrestle, that is quite funny at gaslighting. You know what I mean? It's pretty decent preparation. And since then, he's just been training for Dricus du Plessis. Whereas Dricus has been talking about Chimaev, he's been talking about Pereira, he's been talking about Strickland. He has all these other people on the plate, right? Whereas Sean Strickland only wants to beat Dricus du Plessis. He's only been training to beat Dricus du Plessis, and he only has to change a couple of things to win that fight. Right? Like when you talk about Dricus versus Israel Adesanya, you talk about Dricus versus Robert Whittaker, they have to change their whole game plan. They have to change all these things just to be able to beat him, right? And do good against him. Sean Strickland already schooled Israel Adesanya. I believe he would beat Robert Whittaker as well. And he arguably beat Dricus du Plessis. Like, he is undoubtedly, whether you fucking hate him or love him, he is the hardest fight Dricus has had in the UFC. Without a doubt. Damaged the fuck out of him, jabbed him up, made him miss, got up from all of his takedowns. I feel like Sean Strickland's gonna win this fucking fight. I don't know why. Like, I've tried to be technical about it, but at the end of the day, I'm just feeling like this is gonna go the distance again. It's gonna be extremely competitive. These guys are fucking mirror matchup in terms of height, reach, age. Like, they're so similar to each other in the fact that they're goofballs that are secretly genius at the sport of MMA. Like, Sean Strickland's a goofball defensive mastermind with his fucking iCarly stance and his big arms. Dricus du Plessis, this guy's a fucking... Literally, I keep saying this, but Dricus du Plessis is like the white belt that comes in and fucking tries to judo throw you. Except he's like evolved to 99 overall with all the same white belt animations. He's so fucking like goofy that he's so hard to deal with. But I feel like rewatching that fight, Sean Strickland only has to change a couple of things. Dricus du Plessis has to do what he did in round 3 and 4. That's expending a lot of energy, chasing takedowns, blitzing heavily, using really explosive movements. He has to do that again, and is probably going to think he can do it earlier on, right? That's kind of my logic. I think round 1 and 2, Dricus is going to be blitzing. He's going to be trying to wrestle. He's going to be trying to submit Sean Strickland, if I had to guess, because he had more success. I don't know. Like, I don't think he's going to knock out Strickland. Strickland's way too fucking hard to hit. I think that his defensive grappling is good enough to get back up. And Strickland can do his goofy shit to everybody. Even if he loses a close decision, it's still like split decision. He still damages the fuck out of them. He still has good moments. He's still extremely hard to hit, awkward to deal with. I feel like this is always going to be a 50-50 type of fight where either one of them could win on the judges' scorecard. I'm going to say, based on the whole narrative going into this fight where it's like a foregone conclusion that Dricus is going to win, I don't like that. I feel that gives me upset vibes. I don't know if I'm the only one that feels this way. The fact that we're all in agreement that, yeah, dude, fuck Sean Strickland, Dricus versus Hamzat, bro, you know, and we're just overlooking Sean Strickland when realistically, like, he is the hardest fight Dricus has had in the UFC by a lot. And like I said, most people thought he won that first fight, including me. And a lot of people change their mind, not because of, oh, you know what, actually rescored, because it's like not cool to be like, well, actually, Sean Strickland won that fight. I'm the same too. I'm not gonna lie. I don't bring it up every video where I talk about these guys because I hate like 2 years later being like, dude, that was a freaking robbery, man. Like, you know, you just gotta get on with the fucking sport and get on with life. But when we're talking about a rematch 1 year later, I feel like it is worth mentioning that Sean Strickland outstruck Dricus du Plessis, damaged the fuck out of him in round 1 and 2, clearly won round 5. The takedowns of Dricus couldn't do anything to Sean Strickland. When you look at him fighting Israel Adesanya and Robert Whittaker, it's like night and day. Like, he's just mogging these guys, and Sean Strickland's the only guy he couldn't do it to. They cancel each other out so badly. Sean Strickland gets pushed back by Dricus du Plessis, which no one else can really do to him. But Dricus du Plessis cannot hit Sean Strickland with the goofy shit because his defense is so goofy as well. I'm really interested to see what these guys change going into the fight. But yeah, my pick is going to be Sean Strickland by decision. I know that's an unpopular opinion. I'm not trying to be, you know, I don't know. I'm not trying to fucking throw up a Hail Mary. I actually think this is a super competitive matchup. And I feel like if you're out there being like, dude, Dricus du Plessis round 1 submission, you're just like blinded by hating on Sean Strickland. And I get it. Trust me, I fucking get it. But I'm getting these Adesanya Strickland vibes where everyone's overlooking Strickland, and I feel like we could just randomly see him 49-46 Dricus du Plessis, like just walking him down, teeping to the body. Dricus wins round 1. Maybe it's like a close round 2, and then he kind of slows down because he's doing so many explosive movements to get takedowns, to land blitzing combinations. I think Dricus will attack the body a lot in this fight. That is one thing I could see working for him if he goes more to the body than the head, because it's so fucking hard to hit Sean Strickland. But I don't know. It's a close fight. Like I said, it's a 50-50 fight in my opinion. It could go either way. But the way that people are talking about it makes me like, oh man, I got a feeling Strickland's going to win this shit, because everyone's acting like it's a foregone conclusion when it's such a close matchup. But hey, this is my opinion. I'm going to go with Sean Strickland by decision. I guess I am kind of excited for this fight. Again, I wish it was Hamzat, but it's all good. The winner of this is going to lose to Hamzat, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, that's my pick. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, man. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, go follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Bedtime MMA. I'm going to keep the daily videos coming this week. I'm sorry that I took the weekend off. I was just kind of chilling, man. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, man. Have a good one, boys. Goodbye.